As you begin this module, we're going to start thinking about building out your prototype. Your prototype is going to be the thing that shows off what it is that you're building or designing. You're going to do this in Figma, but you don't have to start from scratch. I actually have a template here that will be linked inside of Canvas that sort of at least gives you a starting point. And what this is it is a simple single frame that has two different layers. It's got this screenshot of Twitch, and then it's got some generic background content in it. And you can change these, you can make your own, whatever you want to do. But what is the actual prototype, and what is it that you're building? Well, as an example, let's say that my persona was a Harrisburg University student who was frustrated that during the PA Cup, they weren't able to find all the information they wanted on the stream. So what you're looking at now is a prototype of a tool that could potentially solve that problem. Remember, we're building this extension, we're building a prototype with this extension, not the real thing. So using Figma is going to allow us to create this sort of a synthetic version of it. It's a simulation of how the thing would work. And so, the example that I want to show right here, see if I can go full screen. There's a button here. So while the user will be watching the stream, they could click, and it opens up the actual extension. And so there is the PA Cup stats tracker. Let's say I click there. I see the different games that were taking place. I can click Overwatch. Then I have the option, or the user has the option of selecting bracket, teams, or schedule. Remember, this is presenting the user with information that they couldn't normally find. If I go to brackets, it shows me the bracket, and I get a little device here where I can scroll, or I can click and drag on this. I can even zoom in here a little bit. Maybe even I want to say, oh, this match is over. Wow, I really want to know a little bit more about it. Maybe I can click on that and get some details about that specific match. Right? So that's an example of one of the activities that the user will be able to do. Let's say the user also wanted to look up to say, oh, wow, this PA Cup thing, I wonder which teams are playing. Well, they can load it up again. We're going to go back to Overwatch. They're going to click on the Teams button this time. And here we get to see all of the teams that we're playing or are scheduled to play. There's a little disconnect here. Since we're talking about the future, I don't think these are the correct teams that were in 2023. I think this is a 2022 list, but it's just a demonstration. So there I can see all of the teams. But maybe I wanted more information. Maybe who are these Redbird? Who's Redbird Esports? I can click on that and get a breakdown from the Wikipedia page about those particular individuals. And so the idea here is that we have a tool, we have a problem, and that is not having enough information during a live match. So we now have a tool that would allow us to do that. If I go behind the scenes a little bit, we can actually look at the Figma file that was used to create this. So you see here, I've got 9 different screens. In each one of those, now that you know a little bit more about Figma, is really just a slide that we are then navigating between. So the opening slide allowed me to click on that. It loaded this, and this was all designed here. I grabbed the logo from their website, but everything else is pretty much here. That created this drop-down menu, and so on and so forth. And in each one of these is a different screen. And if I go to prototype here, I can see the connections. Which items are linked to what? So this is single, 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 and then it starts branching off to be able to get us to other places. I did notice there was an issue here. I think it was this screen here. Yeah, this doesn't close. So I would set this to go to the previous screen, and I would select this item here, and that would go to the previous screen. But simply put, what you're going to be doing is designing the individual steps that would take place and then going ahead and building that into a navigable prototype. I can click, I can click, I can click. I didn't make the schedule one, but schedule would be the third activity that I would have. I thought of a bunch of other activities. Maybe there's a cheering activity. So when I click here, I can spend channel points and then put something, root for my team. So let's say I was a Maryville fan. So by spending channel points, I could cheer Maryville on the screen instead of just in chat. Just a bunch of different things that you can think about. When you really look at your persona and think of the activities and the engagements that they're looking for, you can create them here. Again, we can simulate them here. So I hope that gives you an overview of what it is that we were talking about, Redbirds. So now this is a clickable item to take me back to screen. But this should give you a pretty broad overview of what you're working towards over the next 3 modules. Trying to get from an idea, a design, into a finished working piece. All right, good luck, and hit me up on Teams if you have any questions.